Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Damon Campbell here at St. Andrews in Detroit with some very special guests. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hey everybody, I'm Paul.
I'm Jake.
What's up? I'm Les.
Great to meet you guys.
Nice to
Definitely
meet you.
appreciate your time once again.
Of course.
Thank you.
Now, I suppose my portion of the introduction may have been slightly awkward, at least for Jake, considering you used to be in a band called Very Special Guests.
Whoa, my boy. Yes, I was. Oh my
That's
God.
amazing. Yeah.
Dude, you're the greatest.
Was that who you went to the intersection with, or no?
It wasn't.
Okay.
That was just I grew up in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
And I started band with my best friends in 8th grade, and we were called Very Special Guests.
Whatever happened to the James Brown doll?
Oh my goodness. You're a legend. Well, he's somewhere in someone's house, probably in an attic. But
So good.
yeah, he was our prop for everyone who wants to know about my past. He was a prop at our show, and we play a song called James Brown. You press a button, and James Brown starts dancing, and then we play a song, and the only lyrics are James Brown.
He said whoever wants to know about my past.
You didn't feel like carrying the tradition on, though?
I guess not.
And as the godfather of soul, he, of course, knew a thing or two about making people feel good, which I understand is your objective as well. And you're of the belief that since music does have this way of elevating one's soul, that it should always be used to build up rather than tear down?
I definitely did say that at one point, and I definitely believe that, yeah.
How important is that, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we live in kind of a crazy world right now
Yeah.
where people are quick to pretty much tear down everybody
Yeah.
for anything. And so I think one of the staples of this band should be that we're always trying to like build each other up and take care of each other and support each other and be fans of each other. And I mean, I think it's cool, and I think it's important to write about things that hurt, and write about emotions that aren't positive sometimes, but
Yeah.
you can do it in like a classy and like a respectful way.
Yeah,
You don't have to be
totally.
raunchy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from a lyrical standpoint, you do tend to be a pretty open book, but I'm a little surprised that Jake didn't end up with any vocal chops since your great aunt Marjorie actually wrote a book about how to properly sing.
Wow. Yes. My great aunt taught musical theater at Belmont University in Nashville.
Shout out.
And then my grandma taught voiced at Ouachita Baptist University in Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
And
Can we just I just feel like people who watch this interview don't listen, man. This guy does his research. He's
Thank you.
so good, and we're all just sitting here astounded at these questions and the fact
Thank
that
you.
he knows so much.
This is, I can't even remember.
I want the viewers to
No,
know
yeah.
that like
No one
you're
like this
asking.
guy.
Yeah, there's nobody like this guy.
I
So.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
All right,
And you
there
guys
you
are fantastic, so I
Thanks.
appreciate the
Thank you.
opportunity.
But yeah, if we sang, we probably would never win a Grammy. We'd only have a 2-hour special on Comedy Central.
And you mentioned your grandma, and she even has a singing competition named after her.
She does. Wow, this is amazing. She doesn't. It still goes on
I didn't know that.
annually, every year at Ouachita Baptist University.
Wow.
Speaking of singing competitions, I understand, Paul, you passed up an opportunity to sort of sneak past initial auditions for The
Yeah.
Voice, although I feel like you would have been a shoo-in regardless. But I certainly don't blame you for perhaps wanting to avoid any potential trauma, because did kids really throw your sneakers in the trash when you were cut from basketball tryouts in school?
Yep, they did. Oh my god.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. Wow, where did I say? How did you know that? Yeah, I even was like working on a song called JV, junior varsity. Well, thing is, I grew up playing basketball. Thought just like every pretty much white kid in the suburbs that like they were going to be in the NBA. one
Yeah,
day or
I'm right there
whatever.
with you.
Yeah, of course we're not gonna ever
No.
be. So, but yeah, like basketball was kind of everything to me for a long time, and then. Just to be really frank, I don't even think I got armpit hair till I was like 18 years old. So I was the latest bloomer in the world.
Yeah.
So I, went into freshman year, trying to play varsity basketball. I think I honestly was like 5'2".
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And just 105 pounds.
Yeah.
And I wasn't good enough to get the team shoes or the team sweats or anything.
Damn.
But my mom took me to like this discount basketball store where I got like some new shoes, She's
Wow,
like,
yeah.
we'll get you some new shoes.
Yeah, of course.
So I showed it to practice, pulled him out of the box, and I won't name his name, but I remember his first and last name, just took my shoes right from him. He's like, oh, these are sick. And then went to the middle of the court, and there's a trash can all the way over in the far gym, and just kept throwing
Oh
my
my
shoes,
gosh.
trying to make them in the trash can. So
That's terrible.
Boys.
yeah, it was kind of tough. Tough
Yeah,
times.
yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Maybe built up some thick skin though for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Would- Helps in the music industry, of
yeah. It
course.
does. Yeah.
And as you continue to reach new heights as a band, it seems like your fan base is probably the most accurate measurement of growth.
Definitely.
And generally speaking, I understand you kind of want to help do away with the stigma that, for whatever reason, tends to come with being a fan. That it supposedly isn't a cool thing to be, when, in your opinion, quite the opposite is true.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking about this, and might write like a little piece about this, but a lot of times we do get asked, how do you feel about your fan base being younger girls? And it's asked in a way that maybe they want me to have a controversial answer, or or that I'm not okay with that, or something. Like, they're insinuating that that's a problem.
Yeah.
And
for the record, there's about like 30 of them standing outside waiting for the show
it's
right
the
now.
best. Like
at 2:00 in the afternoon.
And I've seen half of them at like 5 other shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the absolute best. And thing is, man, women have this thing like intuition. They always know what's next. They know what's coming. They can see through stuff. They call you out on your stuff. They're there. Like, I love it, man. You think about all the biggest bands in the world in the history of time.
Yeah.
It was always the girls who were there from the beginning
Totally.
and knew what was next and what was and so, to me, I don't understand why people are asking me that question. It's an obvious answer. Like, it's the best thing in the world. Like, our fans, and I think maybe when you get older and you get more insecure, which is kind of a shame. You should be getting more secure,
ironic,
right?
Yeah, certainly.
But like, the older you get, and you start trying to, I don't know, you start caring about what other people think are cool.
Right.
Whereas there's this certain like kind of age, or this certain point where people are at normally when they're 17, where it's like, well, I don't need anybody else to like it for me to like it.
Yeah.
I like it. And I think it's so pure and amazing. And we should all kind of like maybe try to like be like 17 for the rest of our lives.
Yeah,
and that
totally.
sense of just being so cool with what you think is cool, and being a fan of it. And I want to be more like a fangirl in my life towards the people in my life, you know? So it's an interesting thing. It's just, you know, it's kind of, it's something that I kind of wrestle with a lot, because a lot of people who maybe are older than 17 who like us but feel like they can't like us because there's really younger people who like us. It's the most ridiculous thing. So I'm trying to, it's a flaw in humanity, and it'd be amazing to kind of work towards getting out of it.
Totally. Well, and I noticed Sam Smith in particular hasn't been shy about offering you guys his stamp of approval, and was even present for one of your gigs, even if technically by happenstance. Whereas John Mayer, on the other hand, apparently chose not to accept the invitation to your first show at the Sayers Club.
Yeah, but no hard feelings. I totally get that.
Certainly.
I'm actually so glad he wasn't there. I would have died.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to handle the pressure.
No, man. He's like a god to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps his invitation got lost in the mail, although I suppose it'd be pretty ironic since last you actually used to work at a post office.
Ooh.
Yeah. University.
Oh,
post
really?
Office, yeah.
At the Belmont one?
Belmont.
What did you do there?
Just delivered mail and rode around in golf carts.
Really?
Actually, a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing I'd like to address is how you've mentioned you want to sound as current as possible and ultimately help define the sound of whatever year you're making music in. But has that been difficult at all while living and recording in what I hear is actually the oldest house in Malibu?
No, I mean, it's renovated.
Okay.
We're not around like gas stoves or
Stone
anything. Yeah. It just happened to be where we found it on Airbnb, and that's what the landlord, who is the sweetest lady in the world, by the way, Miss Lizette, shout out.
Lizette,
Lizette,
what up?
Love you so much, Miss. You can't wait to get home. But I think, she did tell us that at one point. It might be like the oldest standing now. There might have been like older houses that crumbled to the ground. But we're just on this little property. We don't have cell phone service there, which is pretty cool. But we have like internet, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just
Probably helps to focus better, I suppose.
Yeah, it's just like, we lived in the middle of Hollywood, which is hectic.
Yeah.
But it is central, and it's so easy to get anywhere. And then when we moved out to Malibu, it was like, wow, we're kind of far.
Yeah.
And I was recently faced with the decision whether I wanted to stay out there or not. And I ultimately decided to stay out there. I just think it's, you come off the road and it's a little place to retreat. And it's nice.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you may not be a household name quite yet, but certainly appear to have the right blueprint. What was it, though, about supporting Johnny Stimson and Denny White at the House of Blues that kind of made you feel like you had maybe reached a bit of a glass ceiling at the time?
Well, I was just doing it on my own, man, and I had been doing it on my own for a little while, and I don't think that I was making very good songs. I wasn't writing very good songs. I was trying though,
Yeah.
and I was like working it out, and I was trying a lot of different things, and but ultimately I just decided that if this is what I wanted to do, then I can't do it on my own,
Yeah.
and I certainly don't want to do it on my own or try it on my own anymore. I mean, there was just a definite moment. Something just kind of hit me while I was up there. I only played 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah.
And I just was like, this is I don't want to do this way anymore.
Yeah.
And it really was almost kind of okay with walking away from it. But I still had my keyboard set up in the corner of my like little living room in Hollywood, and every day I'd still go sit on there, and I would still send ideas, even to Jake at some point, even maybe
Wow.
before we started talking about bands, just
That's
saying
crazy.
little things.
Yeah.
And then that's when I decided, all right, if I'm going to do this, it would have to be with like my friends, and it would have to be with somebody that I know and love and want to be around, and who could, and they were doing this thing, and I was like, maybe they would let me just fly in. At the very least, Les used to mix my song. I would do Christmas covers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he would mix them for me. And so I was like, at the very least, maybe Les would let me come to Nashville, and I could like work on songs with him and Jake. And
Yeah.
then that's how LANY started. So.
Can we expect any LANY Christmas covers?
I don't know, it'd be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Stay
Yeah.
Some
tuned.
originals.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, guys. It was
Oh,
great
thanks,
chatting with
man.
you.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Best wishes with everything coming your way. Anything else you'd like people to know about LANY?
No, just about 14 dates left on the Kinda tour. I don't know when you're putting this interview out, but yeah. And then I guess debut album coming 2017. And love you. Thank you for everything so far. And Detroit.
Yes.
There you have it. Once again, I'm Damon Campbell, and this is LANY. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.